Students, good morning. Today we will study chapter 10, denudation. Denudation is a process of breaking and removing the rocks from the surface of the earth. Students, weathering, mass wasting, erosion. These are the three processes which are included in denudation process. So weathering we have studied already in the previous chapter. It is the disintegration of rocks at the same pace by the agents of weather, whereas erosion is the displacement of movement of the weathered rock particles by the agents of erosion like winds, glaciers, running water, means via with the help of ocean currents also, glaciers also, whereas mass wasting is the uh, large scale movement of loose material according to the slope of the land. So the place from where the river originates is known as the source. Then river enters into the plain area. From the origin point up to the plain area, it is the upper course of the river, and here numerous small rivers they come and meet with the main river. So these rivers are known as small rivers are known as tributaries. Whereas the when the river bifurcates or divides into small rivers, these small rivers are known as distributaries. The meeting point of two rivers is known as confluence. Here the river is meeting, so this with the main river. This is confluence. Then in the plain area, when the river is unable to move with the load, that is the sediment, so river starts meandering, that is movement in the form of snake, serpentine movement. This movement is called as meander. And in meandering, sometimes what happens, the land is locked, water is locked by the land, and the lake is formed, and such lake is known as Oxbow Lake. These are known as Oxbow Lake because they resemble to the hump on the ox. They are also known as cushion shaped lake because they are like half moon. Then river mouth is the place where the river ends its journey, meets with the sea. This is river mouth. These small lands are known as deltas, and deltas are formed in the last forks of the river. So floodplains are also formed when the river is in flood and the flood is over, then the sedimentation starts and the plains are formed. These are three courses of the river: upper course, middle course, and lower course. So in upper course, the mainly work of river is transportation. It carries the big broken rocks in, along with its flow. The flow of the river is very high. Landforms formed by rivers in this course are waterfall, rapids, gorges, and interlocking spurs. Waterfalls, when the water falls from the height, it's known as waterfall. Rapids, when there are numerous steps in the waterfall, means small waterfalls are formed, they are known as rapids. Gorges are when the U-shaped valley is formed by the U-shaped valley is formed by river is known as gorges. Interlocking spurs, in between the land there are many, you can say, landforms which are interlocked in each other, known as interlocking spurs. This is middle course. Here the main work of the river is erosion, that is breaking of the rock and carrying the material along its along with it in the hydraulic action and cavitation. Transportation means main work is transportation also. Now the rocks are converted into small pebbles and they are suspended into the water, so they are carried. The flow of the river is moderate, so river is less turbulent, means less destructive here. The main landforms are meanders, small meanders, terraces, oxbow lakes, floodplains, cliff. When the river falls from the height, steep escarpment, steep slope is known as cliff, and point bars are formed. Erosion in this is the last stage of the river, so erosion is almost less, and clay and silt is suspension, which is in suspension, and the main work of the river is here deposition now, because the velocity of the river is very slow. So in this area, floodplains are formed, levees are formed, rivers are braided, means a river starts moving in like they form the choti, इसको बोलते हैं braids. So they forms uh, like in between them, the deltas are formed and river bifurcate. Deltas are formed, river bifurcate, like this. Meanders, point bars, cliffs are there. And next agent of erosion is wind. Wind is movement of air on along the surface of the earth. You can say it is horizontal movement of the air along the surface of the earth is known as wind, and the wind picks up the loose debris, sand particles from one place to the other place. The place from where the wind takes up the material forms the hollow. This is what is hollow, you can see here, and these are known as deflection hollows. And on the other side, it deposits the material, forms the sand dunes. So, wind is the most effective agents of erosion, transportation, and deposition in the arid regions. We can say desert areas. Since why? Because there is lack of vegetation. There is lack of moisture in the soil. So, then factors affecting shape and size of the sand dunes are the direction and the force of winds, the speed of wind carrying the dust and sand particles, nature and amount of sand brought by wind, water features enclosed by area, the nature of vegetation on the land, the nature of surface where the formation of sand dune takes place. These are the factors which affect the formation. Children, these are different types of sand dunes: barkhans, parabolics, transverse, longitudinal sand dunes, and sand dunes are of star shape also. The formation of sand dunes depends upon the wind direction and the amount of sand carried. Say for example, here the these barkhans, they have steep slope towards the leeward side of the wind and gentle slope towards the windward side. Whereas in parabolics, they have the steep slope towards the windward side and gentle slope towards the leeward side. Okay, so on both of these sand dunes, they have barkhans and parabolics, they have horns. Means on this side, why they horns are formed? Because the velocity of the wind is slowed down, so the deposition is lesser. That's why they have horns. Then transverse sand dunes, these longitudinal sand dunes are formed, but these sand dunes are perpendicular to the direction of winds, because some vegetation cover may be there, shutters, which has controlled the direction of winds. Now longitudinal sand dunes are the sand dunes which are formed to the parallel direction of the winds, parallel to the direction of the winds. So these are longitudinal sand dunes. They resemble to the shape of safe, means talwar. So they are also known as safe dunes. Thank you, children.